afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching WY TV from. I am Edun Adeliria. Welcome to another episode of News Review brought to you by Wisdom Yard Television. We want to appreciate all our viewers home and abroad for always staying good to WY TV and to our sponsors, Nokpa Abbas and King Victor Nigeria Enterprises. We say a very big thank you to you. Now, we on the show brings you news that made it to the top. We'll go on a short commercial break to our sponsors. When we come back, we'll discuss the hot topic to discuss for today. But I will not be the only one talking. You can drop your own comments in the comment section. Let me know your opinion on whatever I will be discussing today. On Punch newspaper, we have Ebonyi governor suspend health housing commissioners. Borno flood victims get federal government palliatives. 268,000 displaced by natural disasters in southeast Kalu. Sex for grades, federal government orders varsities to set up health centers. On Vanguard newspaper, we begins crude oil processing. Olubadan halts installation of Iyalode of oil. Festac residents lament erratic power supply. On Daily Post newspaper, we have 2027. It may not be Tinubu, but power can't return to North Okukpe. Nigeria needs more borrowing, Finance Minister Wale Edun. FINA denied entry by restaurants over indecent dressing. These are the news that made it to the top today. Let's go on a short commercial break to our sponsor, Nokpa Abbas and King Victor Nigeria Enterprises. When we come back, we'll continue from where we stop. Don't go nowhere, stay tuned. I'll be right back.
In the heart of Nigeria's bustling markets, where the sights, sounds, and smells overwhelm the senses. But in the midst of chaos, there shines a beacon of hope. King Victor Nigeria Enterprises, where convenience meets tranquility and shopping becomes a pleasure. Join countless others who have discovered the joy of shopping at King Victor Nigeria Enterprises. At King Victor Nigeria Enterprises, we understand the importance of providing our customers with the highest quality products at affordable prices.
Here at King Victor Nigeria Enterprises, customer satisfaction is our top priority. We're always here to help you find exactly what you need.
Whether you're stocking up for the week ahead or grabbing a last-minute item for tonight's dinner, King Victor Nigeria Enterprises has everything you need to keep your home running smoothly.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. That is our sponsor, Nokpa Abbas and King Victor Nigeria Enterprises. Remember to adorn your health with Abbas because health is wealth. And do not play with your stomach because you can only carry out your day-to-day activities while you feed yourself with good food. And such can be gotten at King Victor Nigeria Enterprises, located at shop number 2, Awolowo Makun Shagam in Ogun State. The first one here says, Nigeria needs more borrowing, Finance Minister Wale Edun. Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of Economy Wale Edun says the Nigerian government needs more borrowings to fund its budget, even though some ministries, departments and agencies have surpassed their revenue targets. The minister stated this during an interactive session of the Senior Joint Committees on Finance and National Planning and Economic Affairs on the 2025-2027 Medium-Term Expenditure Framework Fiscal Strategy paper. Edun said the borrowing needs to be done productively and efficiently based on the Senate approval for proper funding of the budget. When this man came out and said, Nigeria still needs borrowing, I was perplexed, I was heartbroken because of all the borrowing that we have on ground. I do not expect one person to actually come out again and say Nigeria still needs to borrow more money. So we continue to be in debt from one debt to another. It's not as if the debt that we have on ground has been settled. No, it has not been. So you want to add another debt to the one that we have on ground before. And it's not as if Nigeria did not even generate any revenue at all. We generated more revenues in 2024 from every sector. Is it from the EFCC, from the custom, from the wherever sector you can count it from? Nigeria actually generated from the FIRS and all that. Still, Wale Edun is still coming out to tell us that Nigeria still needs to borrow. The revenue effort has been good, but we still need to do better. And in the meantime, we still need to borrow productively, effectively, and sustainably. Not just infrastructure, but also social services, health services, education, and intervention in terms of social safety net to help the poorest and most vulnerable, Edun said. The money that you've even borrowed, the poor have not even enjoyed any of it. You keep on using the poor as you take advantage of the poor, you take advantage of their situation. And when you take the bill to the House of Assembly, you know, once you say it's going to help the poor masses in Nigeria, the next thing they will do is speedily they will have to approve the budget, they will have to do that. But ever since you've been borrowing the money and you've been saying you want to use it for the poor masses, you want to use it for infrastructure and all that, at the end of the day, we find out that you do not even use it for anything you even stated you wanted to use it for. Everything is for your own selfish interest. We have judges that their salaries were increased by 300%. We have people in the House of Assembly that their salaries were increased, their allowances and all that. But for the poor masses, the minimum wage, we knew the amount of months the bill actually had to go through before you could actually even approve 70,000. The 70,000 that we're even talking about, some states have not even approved it yet. Some approved, they've not started paying it yet. Yet we still say Nigeria still needs to borrow. If you borrow, what do you want to use the money you borrow for? What exactly are you using the money for is my question. On his part, while giving a similar reason, the Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Senator Atiku Bagudu, reminded the lawmakers that the borrowing plans contained in the 35.5 trillion naira 2024 budget were primarily meant to fund the 9.7 trillion naira deficit. Despite revenue targets surpassed by some of the revenue-generating agencies, the government still needs to borrow for proper funding of the budget. Meanwhile, when Ola Olukoyede, the chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, came to talk, he said, I see no reason why Nigeria should still borrow. And I think I am supporting that motion. I see no reason why Nigeria should still borrow. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Ola Olukoyede, who told the committee that it has recovered over 197 billion naira since January 2024. Where is the money? If EFCC, a sector on its own, a parastatal on its own, can generate 197 billion naira, where is the money directed to? Where did you put the money? Noted that if the government works hard and derives the requisite collection, the country would have enough to fund the budget. Similarly, the Comptroller General of Nigeria Customs Services, Bashir Adeniyi, in his presentation disclosed that the customs has raked in 5.352 trillion naira in revenue above the 5.09 trillion naira target for the 2024 fiscal year. If only EFCC and Nigeria Customs can generate this amount of money, do we still have any reason to say we want to go and borrow money outside the country? Do we? He further said that 6.3 trillion naira is targeted as projected revenue for 2025, a 10% increase of which will be the revenue target for 2026, and an addition of 10% increase for the 2027 fiscal year. In his own presentation, the Group Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, Mele Kyari, said the company exceeded the 12.3 trillion naira revenue projected for 2024 by already raking in 13.1 trillion naira. We know your own. For the 2025 fiscal year, 23.7 trillion naira is projected by NNPCL to be remitted into the Federation account, he said. Also, the chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, Zach Adedeji, in his presentation informed the Joint Committee that FIRS had surpassed targeted revenues across the various tax components. Daily Post recalls that the Senate on Thursday approved the 1.77 trillion naira, that's $2.2 billion loan request of President Bola Tinubu after a voice note. Now, the president wants to go and borrow $2.2 billion, which is 1.77 trillion naira. While EFCC were able to generate from January to this moment 197 billion naira. Sir, why can't you take from that money and just use it for whatever you want to use? Why put Nigerians in debt again? Why use us as a guarantor? Why put our lives at risk, all in the name of you want to borrow money, and we do not even see the value of the money you are borrowing all this while? You borrow from World Bank, you borrow from local banks, you borrow from countries upon countries, and still there is nothing to show for it. Port Harcourt Refinery begins crude oil processing. The second one I will be discussing, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, has confirmed that the Port Harcourt Refinery in Rivers State has commenced crude oil processing. The Chief Corporate Communications Officer of the company, Olufemi Shoneye, broke the news on Tuesday. Shoneye revealed that the refinery will operate at 60% capacity and process 60,000 barrels per day. He also said today marks a monumental achievement for Nigeria as the Port Harcourt Refinery officially commences crude oil processing. This groundbreaking milestone signifies a new era of energy, independence, and economic growth for our nation, Shoneye said on Tuesday. Hearty congratulations to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the NNPC board, and the exceptional leadership of GCEO Mele Kyari for their unwavering commitment to this transformative project. Together, we are reshaping Nigeria's energy future, he said. This is a big congratulations to Nigerians. We just hope this will last and somebody will not actually come up with an idea that would actually kill this refinery from working. And I think since the Port Harcourt Refinery is already working, I think everything should begin to come back to normal in Nigeria while the production of petrol, crude oil processing and all that is going on at Port Harcourt. See, this will not be a rivalry game. Yes. I hope we will not make it a rivalry game because you'll be like, I was the first to come into the market. This one cannot come and overtake me. We don't want it to be like that. Let everybody work, and we make a better platform for businesses in Nigeria. The last but not the least, sex for grades. Federal government orders varsities to set up health centers. I think this needs to be taken care of properly. Is becoming a norm in our universities, in our polytechnics, even in our tech schools. It's becoming a norm that a lecturer will tell students that if I do not get down with you, definitely you're not going to pass my course. And this is actually something that is actually killing our education sector. The federal government has directed tertiary institutions in the country to establish sexual assault referral centers to address cases of students offering lecturer sex in exchange for good grades, harassment, and gender-based violence on campuses. The Minister of Women Affairs, Imam Suleiman Ibrahim, affirmed this at the National Summit held in Abuja by Alliance for Africa in collaboration with the Committee on Gender Directors in Nigeria to kick off the 16 days of activism campaign against gender-based violence. The directive comes 3 days after the Federal University in Oye-Ekiti cleared a female student, Ramota Olanloye, to graduate following the remarking of a final year examination script. Ramota had alleged that a lecturer, Dr. Anthony Agbededia, demanded sexual favors from her, and when she declined, he deliberately failed her in 2 final year courses. Can you imagine? Because she failed to get down with you, you decided that the best way I can pay you back is to make you repeat. And it's not as if once she come back to come and rewrite the paper, she's coming to write it for free. No! Another tuition fee will be paid, another processing will be done entirely for that time, for that session on its own. Now you decided because of your own selfish interest, made her go through 2 years extra year. Not that she fails the course, you failed her intentionally because she could not get that under her skirt. But Suleiman Ibrahim disclosed that for the trend to be curbed, there was a need to introduce timely intervention and survivor support in the center being recommended. She said, I call on universities' leadership to prioritize the establishment of SCARs to ensure timely intervention and support for survivors within our community. So all universities in Nigeria, this is coming from the Minister of Women Affairs in Nigeria, that, excuse me, These things need to be set up for students to be able to come and show their heart pain that this is what I'm going through. This lecturer is not does not want me to graduate because I did not give him what he wants, and proper steps to be taken. And if such a person is actually found guilty of the offenses they were charged of, due processes will be taken, and such a person will have nothing but to face the the law of the school. Some would actually have to may actually have to lose their jobs in the process. And if at the end of the day they find that it is actually the student that is begging the lecturer that, sir, let me just get down with you so you can pass me, then such a student can actually fail or be expelled from the school. All right, we've come to the end of News Review today. Do not forget to follow us on all our social media platforms, on Facebook, on YouTube, on X account, on TikTok, on Instagram at Wisdom Yard Online TV. Thanks to our sponsor, Powerbus and King Victor Nigeria Enterprises. To my engineers, I say a very big thank you to you. Till I come again on your screen tomorrow, I remain my humble self, Edun Adelere. Just be good and be fine. Bye for now.